Hello Aquarius, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We begin with the Two of Wands. Very important decision, perhaps a very urgent decision. Something needs you to take control, right? We've got to grab the wheel here, right? Let's put it into some context. Two of Pentacles now. Oh, there is the Star. There is your power card. Interesting. I feel what's going on here is that you're on a ship, right? And something happened to the captain, and you've got to make a decision right away. You've got to jump in and grab the wheel, even though you may not know the first thing about piloting a ship or how to sail or how to fly or anything. But you've got to try to get us through this journey, through this dark night, right? And you're the only one that can. You're the only one that can. You've got to make a decision of how to move forward here. We've got fire and earth. These two this is my favorite combination of cards, fire and earth, right? There's no air getting in the way. Let's get that card out of here. There's no water getting in the way, right? It's just fire to earth. It's impulse to action. It's the will, the inspiration, and the behavior that follows it. There's no thinking or feeling to get in the way to impede this. There is no delay. You have to just instinctively grab the wheel and fly. Or sail, or, whatever. Pick your transportation metaphor here. A lot of court cards over there. A couple of court cards, another one here. So there are other people on board this ship. Okay? Other people are on board. Now this is pretty intense. Let's select our mystery card. Bonus card, confirmation card. This is one card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. Oh, we've got two. Oh, this is a unique reading here. I'm happy that I decided to do this bonus reading for you, Aquarius. Those mystery cards are going to tie everything together and give us the confirmation we need at the very end of the reading, okay? But if at any point during the reading you get an idea, a sense, a feeling of what those cards are, put your prediction in the comment section below, all right? Let's tap into spirit, let's tap into source, let's start discerning these cards together, right? Kind of a group exercise, and I hope you'll play along. So let's take an overview now. We have major arcana, major arcana. We've got fire and fire and fire and fire. We do have a little bit of water here. This is the water that we don't need. It's not a time for us to get emotional. This is a lot. This is 10 cups. This is a lot of water. This is being overwhelmed with the emotions, with the fear, with the whatever it is. All the emotions involved in this situation are not helpful right now. Okay? We've got the air. The air is up here. This is your mind trying to interfere, trying to swoop down and figure things out. It's like, I brought my calculator. I'm coming in to do the math. No, we're fire to earth. We are reacting instinctively based on it. This is intuition, the star, and this is moon. This is instinct. Intuition and instinct. We're trying to keep this out of it. The fire energy that we have under here, this is kind of because this is force, right? This is how much pressure you apply to something. It's Saturn in Leo. So it's saying that, look, just because you have all of this strength doesn't mean that you have to use all of it, right? Very rarely do we turn all the way up to 10. Well, the volume goes all the way to 10, yeah, but how often do you do that? Like, the burner on your stove, it goes from low all the way up to like super high. How often do you put it on super, super high? Well, sometimes. Right? Maybe you're trying to boil water, whatever. Flash fry something, or you want to get a good sear, you might crank it. But usually medium high even is pretty good. Volume level, right, on your stereo, 5, 6, maybe 7, 8, the most. So this is our instinctual understanding, intuitive / instinctual. Knowledge, knowing, gnosis, awareness, perception, how much force we need in this situation. Okay? Man, this is pretty intense. And we have our earth energies too, right? So this is resulting in behavior. You've got to grab the wheel and do something with it, right? Trust yourself to grab that wheel and use your instinct to know where to steer and how much gas to give it and all that kind of stuff, right? It feels like a movie plot, right? It feels like you walked into the cockpit and something happened to the captain. You had to jump in the seat and you had to grab the wheel or the stick or whatever it's called in an airplane. And you got to try to land this thing, right? And this might be the runway. This might be where we're landing, right? And this is the result of all of this. So whatever situation we're in right now, it's really going to result in you having astronomical confidence in yourself, right? This is what can happen when you really trust your intuition and your instinct. We don't really need to get overly emotional about it. It makes no sense to cry and lament and plead and to feel this kind of overwhelming emotion. This is going to prevent us from taking any kind of action, right? It's an overload of emotion. This is us succumbing to the fear, to the emotion. Then we're not doing anything, right? Because it is a situation that has a rather unknown result, right? This is, not only is this intuition and instinct, but this is also kind of the before and the after. We don't really know the after. It's dark. It's kind of scary out there. This is a landing field. This is a jungle. We don't know what we're doing. We don't know how to do this. Well, we're going to figure it out. We're going to perhaps let in a little bit of this, our air energy. But again, just the right amount to kind of, let's use our existing knowledge, right? We don't have swords here. We don't have specifically minor arcana swords energies, right? We got a Knight of Swords. So to me, this is saying, use your existing knowledge. Draw upon similar experiences that you've had that might have like some overlapping skills, and use something that maybe you learned as a kid or in a video game or, on TV or something. And how do we apply that knowledge to this current situation that needs immediate action? Okay. Maybe it's a work thing going on with you. Maybe it's something at home. Maybe it's something that has to do with your life path. But see, this star card, this is your power card, right? And I think that this is you really trying to follow your star, trying to follow your guiding light, okay? And I think that this is you kind of navigating by the stars, which is kind of that intuition, right? Kind of navigating by what is above, not in the horizontal plane, not by what's in front of us and around us on this manifested world, but navigating by what is above, by the light coming down from above, right? So I think you have been following your star for some time, okay? And now there is this situation. I don't know what the situation is, but I feel like it's requiring some immediate action on your part. Now, and I know we began with this kind of this crisis, like the captain's sick and someone needs to fly the plane. It doesn't have to be that kind of urgency to it. But it's something that requires you to step up, take the leadership, don't overthink it, don't start getting into your feelings, do what needs to be done. Right? It's a direct creation, it's a direct act, it's the impulse to do it and the behavior of you doing it. We're not letting thoughts and feelings get in the way and separate this impulse from action, inspiration to behavior. Okay? It has to be spontaneous, right? So whatever your project is, whatever your destiny, whatever your goal is, whatever your work is, it could be personal, professional, private, could be romantic, could be platonic, could be business, friends, family, could be you're building something, it could be that you're an artist, whatever we're doing. Could be something that's kind of geared towards community organization, service work, whatever it is. You've got to take the leadership role. You've got to make decisions, and those decisions have to draw on your past experience, but not in a way that interferes with you putting your decision into action. Okay, this is the big focal point here. It's very simple. The 2 is very close to the ace, right? It's very simple. Make the decision, take the action. Draw on your past experience and your current skill set, sure, of course. Know how to control your power. Just because you can lift 1,000 pounds doesn't mean that you always have to use that much strength, right? When you ever had that happen where you expect something to be heavy, and then when you go to pick it up, it kind of like, it's a weird feeling, right? Because you're using the power for something heavy, but it's something really light. And it has that kind of shocking sensation to it. I'm sure you've experienced that. Maybe I'm not explaining it right, but that's kind of what this card's all about. Knowing how much force to apply to something. Like, I know how heavy this teacup is going to be. So what if I use too little force and I can't lift it? Maybe it falls. If I do too much force, then maybe I spill all my tea in my face, right? I've done that before. So this is knowing our power and being able to to gauge it with intuition and instinct. How much power to use? Okay? How much force do we have to use? And this might be related to how we're interacting with people in our environment, to others. Friends, family, coworkers, the people that we need to rely on to help us get things done. We're making these decisions, we're putting these decisions into actions. Well, there are others in the environment. You see, we have, 3 court cards, so there's others here. Well, how much power do we need to use? How much throttle do we need to open up here in the environment to get things done in the right way? Right? Too much is going to be destructive. Too little is going to be way underproductive. So here, in the general energy, we've got the Queen of Wands. This is water and fire. This is really the kind of temperance energy, right? This is knowing how much fire to put to release into the world, right? How much to radiate versus how much fuel we have left too, right? If we think about it like that, this is like a lantern or something, right? The brighter we shine on the outside, the more fire, the more heat we put out, the more we radiate, the faster we're going to burn that fuel inside. And that fuel could be patience, it could be energy, tolerance, it could be stamina, whatever. So we need to be able to gauge this in the right way. The appropriate amount of force applied to the appropriate object to get things done. That's magic, right? That's magic. So I don't know what your will is. That's back here with this star energy. This is what your will is. This is what your intention is. This is the destiny that you are trying to unfold. Right? This is the purpose behind your actions. We have to know how much force to apply to the right objects. What kind of words do you have with certain people? How do you talk to certain? You can't treat everybody the same, right? I can't. I don't talk to my wife the same way I talk to my daughter or my grandma or my mom or my brother. Everybody has their own setting. You know what I mean? We can't just use the same amount of force, and maybe force isn't the right word, right? We can't use the same dynamic with everybody, right? We have to treat people differently based on what their needs are, who they are, and the nature of the relationship with them. So when we take these two, what is this? This is fire and earth too. This is the decision, the inspiration, the will, and this is the behavior, the action, the result. Right? Fire to earth, just like we see here, fundamentally speaking, in the very simplest way, fire to earth. Fire to earth in terms of people, the dynamics between people. How do you approach people in your life to get things done in a productive way? Right? We can't go around yelling at everybody, expecting that to be, productive. Maybe some people we have to yell at. Other people we have to treat more gently. Right? We have to understand the right amount of energy to put into each situation to get the fire to the earth in a productive way, to get the desired behavior from the world around us, right? To manifest our will. That's magic. Now, too much emotion is what we do not want. This is an overload to me, right? Yeah, 10 of Cups, usually a very good thing. This is full. This is so full of feelings and sentimentality and passivity and yielding. There's no room for anything else. No room for any fire, right? Thankfully, we have a 9 of Wands right on the other side. So we've got this water and fire. Well, there's a little bit more water than fire. And maybe that's good. Because if we think about, the Tao Te Ching or the I Ching, the wisdom and philosophy of the East, it says that we should all be a little bit more on the water side, a little bit more passive, a little bit more yielding than we are striving, right? It's not 50-50. Let's lean a little bit more toward the water, toward the compassion, toward the love. Let's err on the side of emotion, love, compassion, yielding, acceptance, right? Adaptability, right? So if you have the choice between too much fire or too much water, maybe better to go on the water side, right? If you have to choose. And I don't think we have to, because it's almost equal here, a 9 and a 10. They almost cancel each other out. What's left is a little bit of water. An Ace of Cups, in fact, right? Is what would be left over if my math is right. So I think it's better to be a little bit too yielding and too tolerant than to be too aggressive, too forceful, right? I'd rather cook something a little bit too slowly than to completely burn it. Yeah. You can always turn up the heat, but once it's burnt, you can't really turn it back down. It doesn't really matter at that point. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card. This is a very interesting reading. I'm happy that we've done this bonus reading for you. Now we have 2 mystery cards. What do we do with this? Put your predictions in the comments section if you would like. I think we should probably just do them both at the same time. I wonder if we're going to get the same kind of juxtaposition. I wonder if we'll get like a fire and an earth. I wonder if we'll get a water and a fire. Maybe an air and a water, showing the heart and the mind, right? These two. Because it really is kind of about balance here, And even the balance here in this moon card, it's like night and day. It's like we're just in the hour The darkest hour before the dawn, right? Just about to get to the other side of this. And this is kind of the moon here. This is like the unknown future. We know that we're headed into we're paving a brand new path. We're going places that no one has gone before. We're on the cutting edge of our destiny, right? It's uncertain. It's exciting. It's mysterious. But we can't predict what's on the other side of that. We need all the confidence and strength we can get. But we also need that leftover cup. We also need that Holy Grail, that Ace of Cups, that compassion, that love. Maybe one of these will be an Ace of Cups. Let's see, I'm going to start on the right side here. Oh my God. It's the star. So we get to ring the bell again. We've got your power card again. So we have the star twice now, right? We have the star twice now. And I think that this is really good. It's kind of the beginning and the end is your destiny. And this is kind of emphasizing that, look, yeah, you're getting your guidance from above. You're getting all this love, all this blessing, all this divine energy. Then we have to focus on the horizontal part of extending it out to others, of using it to improve our relationships and our dynamics with the people in our lives, to further our destiny along. And this is kind of what we see with the second iteration of the star. Now all the water's going down on the ground, right? We're giving it back. We're going a little bit more water than fire here. We're extending that love and that compassion out. So I like this. I like that we have two of these power cards. And this is really confirming for me that you are exactly where you need to be in your life right now. Let's check this other one. Maybe this will be the Ace of Cups. But now that we have the star, I kind of feel like we need something, some other active thing. We need either some fire or some air, right? Oh, it's a Four of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. This is quite interesting to me because now the whole reading was about how we make things happen in the world, right? How we manifest our will. How we get things done. How we kind of get our way, right? How we're able to take our decision, our idea, our will, our impulse, and manifest it as action, as behavior, as results. But now we've got a Four of Pentacles, and this is saying, don't be overly concerned with the results. Perhaps it's not in the results. It's not in the physical behaviors. It's not in getting our way, right? It's not in what we're producing, unless we think of it as the way we're producing the relationships, right? The way we are interacting with others, the way we are tempering our own engagement with the world. It's not about the physical stuff that results from this. It's about the dynamic. It's about the process between ourselves and the environment and the rest of the world, right? And that's kind of shown here by the simple 2 and 2, fire to earth, and then the very complex interpersonal fire to earth, right? This is what it's all about. This is the simple theory. This is the practice. The dynamics between ourselves and the rest of the world, the environment, the other people in our lives, coworkers, friends, family, neighbors, whatever. The Four of Pentacles is reminding us that we don't need to cling to the actual results of what we want to influence the environment to get our way, to manifest our will, to produce the results that we want, right, for our work. But that's not where the value really is. That's a false value. Yes, it's productive. We do want things to progress a certain way. But the real value is in the connection between the fire and the earth, not necessarily the object that earth becomes, right? But the process of getting that fire and earth together. So I think the Four of Pentacles is a very good card. And it's kind of surprising, but I think it's very necessary. I think it's exactly what we needed here. This is all about the relationships, right? Not about the final products that we're making, right? Not about the material stuff that we're producing. It is important, but let's not cling to that. Okay? Very intense, very intense. We're going to do an extended reading too. Click on the link in the corner. That'll give you access to every extended reading, not just Aquarius, but for every sign. All right? I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.